I think I got the thing fixed from last time, so I apologize to anyone who watched the last episode. The stream was working perfectly. That wasn't the problem, but I found out that within OBS, because I'd been streaming to YouTube for the past year or more, because Twitch just wouldn't support the internet that I had. There we go, we'll switch this. That there was a setting in OBS about the audio track, and apparently, why... Alright. I don't know why it's not recognizing my thing here. Let me just exit and relaunch, I guess. I'll give that a shot. Click in here. Oh, look at that. Now maybe it'll launch correctly. But there was an OBS setting that was not set correctly. So on the stream, when I live streamed this, everyone could hear me, and that wasn't a problem. However, whenever it created the Twitch VOD, there's actually a setting in OBS called Twitch VOD, which I don't remember ever being there before, but, you know, I could be wrong. It could have been there. I don't know. That actually had the... Oops, I went the wrong section. Had my audio track set to 1, right? There we go. But the VOD track set to 2. Well, there was only the audio for that, so it only played the game audio. So again, I apologize for those who had to watch the VOD with no commentary. It should be resolved now going forward. So once again, sorry about that. And the sad part is I can't even say go watch it on Twitch from the YouTube channel or anything like that, because it's the same. It literally recorded the VOD with only the game track audio and no commentary whatsoever. So that's 2 hours and 40-some minutes of commentary-less, non-commentary track, and I'm sorry about that, but unfortunately, there wasn't much I could do, and I had done a good number of things in the game, and there was no way to really go back and do it again. So, unfortunately, that's just lost. So, for anyone who's, you know, going back and watching it now in hindsight, and going, well, why is it that, you know, episodes 1 and 2 on the YouTube are good, but then episode 3, there's no commentary? Well, now when you get to 4, you'll understand why. I just didn't want to get rid of it. I thought about it, but it also... What didn't feel like a good reason, you know, to completely, I guess, essentially skip out of some very big content, because we got 2 pieces of the Assassin's Creed armor. We made 2 different assassinations, 1 storyline, 1 contract. It just didn't feel like I could reproduce it in any viable way. Looks like there's an assassination contract over there too, so so just some food for thought, I guess. Again, I apologize for those who will later on try to watch this entire series and then have to sit through essentially 2 hours of nothing. I mean, you'll be able to see the gameplay, but you won't see anything else. Sorry about that. Not a lot I could do. All right. But I did want to explain that when people came in to these later episodes and realized, hey, there's audio now, what exactly happened and why I didn't just get rid of the audio. If I hadn't done as much stuff, I might have just pretended like that whole thing didn't happen. But like I said, there were 2 pretty massive story beats in there that, you know, for for completion's sake, I didn't want to lose. So that's why it's there. And welcome everyone else in chat who's here. Thank you, you guys are awesome. And also everyone who watches this later on YouTube. Feel free to leave comments in the comment window on YouTube. I do answer all comments. I mean, I may have to take that back at some point if this channel ever grows beyond anything like what it is now, which is just a hobbyist channel where I just have some fun and play with you guys. But as of right now, I will answer all the comments. I like to do that to keep a beat on those who are watching. Let's see. There's two things over here. Like, oh my. Okay, well. No. I did start watching, I couldn't help it. I talked about it yesterday. Again, you won't see it unless you were here live. The handful of you guys who were here live got to actually experience that, but everyone else doesn't. I didn't mean to do that either. He just so happened to be there. Oopsie. I didn't actually want to kill these guys. I just tried to drop down, but anyway, it is what it is. I started watching the Medici show again because it takes place in the exact same, and I'm on season 2, which is the Lorenzo season, which is who we actually got to see in the game already, which is pretty cool. And that scene where Guillermo was slain outside of the Duomo does happen in the show, obviously, which is pretty cool, to be honest. So that's near the end of season 2. It's been a while since I've seen the show, so I could be off on that. I know it's pretty late. There's like 3 seasons, however, of the show before it ends. There's 2 seasons with Lorenzo de' Medici, 1 season with his grandfather Cosimo. I think the first season or the second season is where Guillermo dies, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. It's not really a huge spoiler alert for those of you who actually know anything about history. It was recorded that way, but yeah, it is what it is. It's kind of like when someone watches any kind of historical show. Like my favorite movie. I actually have like a couple of them now because there's a couple really good ones. But like Kingdom of Heaven has been my favorite for a very long time. But I never sit there and go, well, maybe this time Saladin doesn't take Jerusalem. That doesn't happen. Maybe Baldwin doesn't die of his leprosy. That also doesn't happen. I wanted the treasure. That's all I want. I apparently need lots of floorings now for weapons and armor and buying all my stuff. Upgrade. I want weapons and armor, but I've really thought about it. I probably should just focus on upgrading the villa and its area, because if I can upgrade that, then I'll get a large sum of money. Oh, all right, let's do this guy. I didn't realize there was a thing there. Whatever, cool. I love the Venetian saber. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Just need your money. Just need your money. Cool. Got it. Wait, is he down below me? That was easy enough. I actually kind of like these radiant. I'm using the word radiant, and it's probably not the right word for it, but that's what they called them in Skyrim, and I don't know why I'm still thinking in terms of Skyrim. But in reality, in Skyrim, that's what they called these minor quests, right? Like they were medium medicine pouch, 3,000, and large medicine pouch. I obviously don't have enough money. Ooh, I can die. That's actually really... Oh, do I... Wait. Well, I'm actually wondering if I do this. Florentine Scarlet, I already own. Oh, it does... It takes away the previous... That's okay. I actually like that armor a little bit better. Very nice. I kind of match in with the rest of the populace now, I think. Yeah. All right, there is a thing up here. I should get rid of it. Where is it? I thought it was up here. Oh, there it is. Again, I really want to know who puts it up here, who's actually going to see it up there, but, you know, whatever. Oh, see, there's another one just right there. If I get... Hey, Satana, how are you, buddy? So I did figure out the issue, as I was explaining earlier, about why no audio was heard. And here in Twitch, or in OBS, they must have added something. There's a Twitch VOD section now. Oh, did I already? I didn't realize I got the third guy. I must have got him when I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if because I've been streaming on YouTube, I've not had anything like this, obviously. Oh. But there was a VOD audio section that asked what track of audio you want for your Twitch VOD, and it was set to 2 versus the audio was set to 1. So it based on the recording, 1 is the combination of both my voice and the game. 2 is the recording of just the game, and 3 is just my voice. So that's essentially what happened. You got out of meetings. Wow, you sound like me. I totally forgot to hit my record button again, too. So I'll have to rely on the VOD. Ugh. I don't like doing that, and I tried to remember to hit the button because I want to use the VODs. Not the VODs, the recording, so that way I can ensure and do all my edits and stuff like that without relying on the Twitch VOD, because that's hit or miss. Unfortunately, I forgot. I'll get into the habit. It's only my day 2 of coming back. And we have our game night tonight, so I'm excited about that. No, I'm good. All right, let's see. Where's the next thing? Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Did I already? Yep, I already got that. I don't need anything in there. Whoop. Up and over some heads. I do love that picture of the statue of David and Goliath. It's an interesting sword, though. There's, for those who are interested in medieval arms and armor, especially the ancient world, it's probably one of the hardest things, because we don't have a lot of surviving copies of Bronze Age and early Iron Age weapons. We have some more Iron Age than Bronze Age, but like, what kind of weapons would ancient Israelites use? You know, at the time of Christ, they didn't really have like a cultural sword. They kind of used whatever was available in the area. So you would probably expect them to have, a member of the Signoria was working with the Pazzi to turn the tide against our family. He's located near the Church of San Lorenzo, but kill him silently. He has powerful friends. Okay. Most of the Israelites at that point in time would likely have used gladius, you know, spada, those kinds of weapons. Prior to that, they probably would have used more Greek short swords, things of that nature. And before that, we don't really have a lot of surviving examples. However, they did find one of the oldest steel swords in the world. One of the oldest, because you always say about steel, like, it's really weird. It's sort of kind of like how there's no clear-cut line between when certain things appear. Like, at this point, firearms existed, even in this game. They were rudimentary. They were used. And by 15th century, swords started to take I don't want to say a back seat, but they're definitely less prominence. There were pikes and stuff like that was still a very big primary part. But you could see it starting to, especially by the 15th century, start moving closer to firearms being the primary weapon of choice. But they still existed. Swords were still used. Technically speaking, when you ask about swords, like, when did swords ever leave the military service? And the answer is never, actually. And you might be asking, what do you mean by that? Like, melee weapons, swords and stuff, they were always meant as a sidearm. Like, even in military, ancient military, it was spears and pikes were often the primary weapon of war, and swords were meant as a sidearm or even a civilian defense weapon in the case of rapiers, longswords, etc. Obviously, they were used for war, but they were obviously a sidearm. Because you could carry them on your side, hence where we get the term sidearm. That's why you didn't see things like great swords, for instance, Zweihanders or pole axes and stuff. Those were not sidearms because you couldn't really carry them very easily. But yeah, like even up into World War I, I'd say, like the cavalry units were still using modern sabers, you know, like actual curved sabers in World War I. So like those things were around, and even today, while mostly ceremonial, the Marines still use the Marine, not cutlass, that's not the right word, it is a saber, but I don't think they use the word saber. I'm trying to think of the word being used, but the military dress arms have them. And of course, there's standard loadouts for the military with other melee weapons, you know, K-bar knives, etc. Like, they're still there. They're just less prevalent, you know. Everyone looks at firearms as the primary. But anyway. So yeah, like, guns would have been here, but especially at this time, the primary use of any gunpowder weapon was as a ballistic siege weapons and defending keeps. There were hand muzzleloader type things, but again, they were current mission, I can't do anything. They were very clunky, and so swords were still used. But anyway, as I was saying, back to what I was saying about what kind of weapon was used. We don't have clear-cut times where, like, during the Bronze Age, it's like, well, no one used iron. Well, that's not true. Bronze was just more readily available. Iron was harder to come by. And also, you know, not everyone had the skill to work it. But iron, there were examples of iron and even steel swords